Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, this Nolan Hockey Podcast, we have gotten, quite a bit fun. We've tried to find ways to, spend our time on this without it just being, yep, and November, still no news. There's not a lot to say.
It was a really dead week.
All I will tell you is that Cole Perfetti signed for he signed with royalties. It was over $1 million per.
People were
but it's it's $0.925K.
People were really confused because it said $1.6 million, and people were like, "What the hell?" And that's bonuses.
I am the conductor of the Perfetti hype train right now. I don't care that he's not going to play next year. I'm hyped.
We don't want him.
Every single freaking ranking I have. This is off topic. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Every single ranking I've seen has this kid in the top 20. Whether it's and not just for his age. I mean in certain age group of under and a certain age of 25, with potential and everything. It's nuts. I like it. Now the main topic that we are here to discuss is. So we were trying to find ideas, and I was like, well, how about a grading system based on the postseason that we just had?
And especially it's good to go over that as our channel started right at around the end of the playoffs. So we weren't really able to talk about, we started right in the end of the Eastern Conference Final.
No, end of the West.
End of West?
East was still going.
Oh, yeah.
West went to 5, East went to 6.
Yeah, end of the Western Conference Final, so... We didn't really get a chance to talk about the first.
We missed a lot, what we're saying.
we missed quite a bit.
So we got a lot of. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through every single team, starting in the qualifiers. We don't know how far we'll get. We're gonna give a brief description, and we'll give them a number grade from 1 to 10.
And
this is not just based on how they did. It's not just gonna count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 10, with obviously being 10 the Stanley Cup champion. It will be based a lot on expectation.
There's not 10 teams.
No. But I mean, it won't count up based on where they finished. It will be a lot of also to expectation, and let's set aside what happens after this postseason. Let's try to ignore what happens in the off season.
Yeah.
A little bit, not too much, but a little bit.
Yeah, and one thing I will say when it comes to some of these earlier rounds, I did not get to see a good amount of these teams play.
I didn't see all of them, but I think some of this is very
invested in
results oriented.
Very specific series.
Would you like to start in the West or the East?
Start West, go East.
Okay. So first off, we are gonna start with the team, the Edmonton Oilers, and the Edmonton Oilers were the 5th seed, who were knocked out in 4 games by the Chicago Blackhawks, the 12th seed. What is the number grade that you give them?
Well, the thing is that... Well, what?
Out of 10. Give them a number grade.
I know, but the thing is that if I give a 3 and then you give a 3, your 3 might be different than mine or something.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
I'm going to give them...
It's totally arbitrary.
I'll give them a 3.
Yeah. Honestly, 3...
It was disappointing.
3.5. This was disappointing... on many levels.
Yeah, especially now this wasn't really relevant at the time, but it is worth bringing up. You have to also put this into perspective as Edmonton is a team that's trying to put together the pieces
finally
to finally do something. And we're talking about a Chicago team that is now going into a rebuild.
Yeah.
So rebuild versus contender, and you lost to the rebuild. So.
Doesn't
look good.
And it was just bad all around. They lose in 4, with McDavid still averaging a point per game because it's McDavid. McJesus will score any day of the week. It doesn't matter how bad he plays. But there was no support. A few things to note. Having Mike Smith play Game 1 cost you Game 1.
That was a bad decision.
That was a bad call. The defense looked bad, and the offense... the offense could not keep up with how bad their defense was doing. I like Oscar Klefbom because he's an offensive defenseman. But goddamn, did that defense do nothing to stop. All right, so, little bit of a kink there in Carter's phone, but other than that,
We'll be all right.
Yeah, we're fine. So, sorry, to finish my thought, Oscar Klefbom, I do enjoy because he's an offensive defenseman, but he did nothing. A lot of the defensemen just did not show up. Like, and the Oilers are a lot like... The Oilers are like Diet Toronto. If they get, like, they're going to need to score 7 some nights if they're going to get away with it. Yes, okay. So, Edmonton, 3. The next team will be the 6th seed Nashville Predators, who were knocked out in 4 games by the Arizona Coyotes.
Is that not Chicago? Or are you going by seed?
Yes, seed. And Chicago made it to the first round, so they're not going.
Oh, I see, yeah. Nashville, and they... Sorry.
And Nashville lost to Arizona in 4 games, so 3-1. And Arizona was the 11th seed.
I don't know. You go first this time. I went first the other time. Really don't know. Didn't watch the series though.
2. They look bad. Don't get me wrong. This Arizona team is better than an 11th seed.
I'm not gonna give it because I didn't watch the series. So it's not.
You didn't see watch the series? Okay.
No.
I'll just discuss my thoughts on it. Arizona came in and they knew they needed to show up because there's been so many problems there. Nashville looked bad. Like, really bad. Like, a lot of bounces just weren't going their way. In any game, there was a hilarious goal off Matt Duchene where Duchene wasn't even in the play. It hit him around the circle, and it went flying towards the net out of nowhere. I think it was Duchene. But, like, honestly, it just felt like Arizona, like, simply just wanted it a lot better. Matt Duchene doesn't work. Matt Duchene doesn't work in Nashville. I don't like... the fit just doesn't work to me. And also, too, Nashville's a team that... Like, Nashville and Dallas remind me of the same problems. They can't score. And Dallas figured out how to score in the playoffs, and Nashville didn't. And Nashville didn't even make it to the first round.
That made all the difference.
So Nashville gets a 2. Because, honestly, this is just disappointing for them. Because they want to say they're still contenders, but every single year, and especially this year, they haven't shown up. They've done fine to make the playoffs, but they do nothing once they get there. This is the second time in a row they're going to get knocked out at the first available point that they can be knocked out. Last year they lost to Dallas. It's just, you got to be disappointed. So next is the Minnesota Wild, the 10th seed, who lost to the 7th seed in the Vancouver Canucks in 4 games. Minnesota, what do they get?
5. Mid.
Damn it, I hate you. I honestly...
Not great.
Minnesota probably gets... I'd give them a 4.5. 4.5 for Minnesota. Like, they lost at the first point they can lose. So right away, you're bound to not get a great rating. But, like, I don't... Like... They were never going to beat that Vancouver team. They actually won game 1. But that Vancouver team was way too deep for that Minnesota team. But I will say that what this has done for Minnesota, and yes, I know, I'm now looking in hindsight, but that goes with the expectations. A lot of guys are looking good on that roster. They played okay, actually. Like, Kevin Fiala is a star in Minnesota. Underrated. And he's making that trade with Nashville look really bad on the Preds.
Yeah, I was about to say, I liked him when he was in Nashville.
I didn't like him when he was in Nashville.
Well, I thought he was alright.
No, I didn't like him because he was good.
Yeah.
Game 2, double overtime against Winnipeg.
Yeah, and the other thing with Nashville is Nashville's one of those teams where, like...
No, let's not talk about Nashville.
I know, I'm good.
Let's not talk about Nashville.
2 seconds.
Okay.
2 seconds. They've been on a bit of this decline ever since they had that Cup final appearance. They just haven't been able to replicate it.
Okay, so Minnesota now. Minnesota now. This video is going to be long, you know that, right?
I know, that's fine.
I'm totally fine with that. This is going to be in depth. You guys can revisit this as many times as you want to get the full watch done.
Anyways, after
Minnesota, what do you like?
We already finished Minnesota.
Yeah, okay, you're done with Minnesota? Okay.
I'm done with Minnesota.
So next is the Winnipeg Jets, the 9th seed, losing to the Calgary Flames in 4. Calgary Flames was the 8th seed. What do we give Winnipeg?
I give them a 5, simply because as much as obviously it's disappointing, you gotta take into account the injury trouble that they were running with.
You're a 5?
I'm gonna go 5.
Give them a 3. And don't get me wrong, I'm giving them a 3 because, and not because, and don't get me wrong, you're totally right in saying that. But, like, Winnipeg, is the camera moving?
Yeah, what the hell? One sec. I don't know what's going on here.
We can edit that.
Oh, there's a guitar. Hopefully that works.
We can edit that. That's fine.
Not really.
Yeah, we can.
How?
I don't know. What was I saying?
You're not the one who edits.
The thing is that, like, you're right when you say, I'm not the one who edits.
Yeah.
I don't edit at all. I don't even edit my own work. Rough draft for the win.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody send us a tripod. That'd be great.
Go fund me for a tripod!
It'll start a GoFundMe. Anyways.
This just in, some losers in a Winnipeg basement need a tripod.
Yeah. 35
There have been GoFundMes that have worked for less.
35 subscribers, they are very generous.
Anywho, so I'm giving Winnipeg a 3 or a 3.5.
I'm giving them a little bit of the benefit.
You gave them a 5, okay? I understand why you gave them a 5.
Yeah.
This is why
it was very disappointing.
This is why I can't give them more, though. The problem is that there were so many good things I liked about this season, but there were so many things I didn't like about this playoffs. So Scheifele gets injured, Laine gets injured. Damn.
Yeah.
But you know what? We have tried, like, we keep saying that this team is so deep that it doesn't, like, this team is one of the best top 6s in the NHL.
Yeah.
Where the hell was Kyle Connor? Where was Blake Wheeler?
And
they didn't show up.
That kind of goes into what I was going to say, is they kind of had almost the reverse Tampa effect. Stamkos comes back, and it gets everything going, and once these players got injured, once
first period Scheifele.
First period Scheifele's gone. Laine eventually gets injured, and everything goes downhill from there, and it's...
I remember that game. That first game was rough.
And what was disappointing to me, and like I said, I'm still going to give him a 5. I'm kind of wish I gave it a little bit more of a 4.
Why do you think I made you go first?
But it's just like nobody stepped up. Hellebuck, I guess, but he played okay.
Well, Pionk was invisible. Morrissey did not look good. And I'm getting a little annoyed at Morrissey. I know he's good, but he's beginning to irritate me.
Yeah.
Because looking at his stat line, you're just like, but you could be so much better. Like, he could be better. He's playing a lot like an Edward Vlasic, which is not a good sign.
Yeah, you don't want to...
Like, don't get me wrong. He's not the worst years of Edward Vlasic, but, like, still,
this camera
it gets better.
Moving.
It's not bad now.
It's still moving.
Okay, well, I'll just keep talking while he does this.
Ending this. The camera will stop moving.
You're what?
We're going to end this camera movement.
I like how you keep moving, you keep taping the bottom, even though it's the top that moves.
Okay.
Anywho. No, but the thing is you say no one stepped up. I'll tell you this. One guy stepped up. Nikolai Ehlers was playing with the biggest chip on his shoulder I've ever seen. That guy decided the game that we won. The only game we won in that series. Like, and honestly, like, Andrew Kopp wasn't bad. Adam Lowry wasn't bad. Jansen Harkins scored, so good on him.
Harkins is being quite consistent.
Here's the thing. I think Harkins has to crack the roster. Like, or at least he's going to be, like, the, what's it called? Like, scratched. At least
like
he won't be AHL.
Like, same situation as, like, Appleton, or?
I'd put him above Appleton, to be honest. Appleton just kind of seems like a...
Oh, I'm not saying it's a better player than
Appleton's a weaker Roslovic. And Roslovic ain't that great. So, okay, Now, yeah, so I give it a 3.5. Carter gave it a 5. Carter, stop.
I'm gonna move the camera.
Stop. Look
bad.
at this. Now they see the other cushion. They should never see the other cushion. Carter, you're having OCD on this.
Yeah, well,
Stop! Just stop!
Okay.
We're 15 minutes in and we're 4 teams down in a 24-team playoff.
Okay.
Good Lord.
Maybe we'll just do the qualifiers. Anyways, next one.
Next up is, this is a good one, the 5th seed Pittsburgh Penguins losing to the 12th seed Montreal Canadiens in 4 games. What are you giving that?
It's tempting to give them a 2, but I'm giving them a 1.
I'm giving them a 2. I don't think I'm gonna give anyone a 1. Like
I really want to just give one.
You're giving them a 1?
Okay, that's my 1.
I'll give them a 2. So what did you think on that series? I want to ask you because I've said a lot and you just kind of went
Yeah, well, to be fair, I haven't seen a whole lot of the
Oh, okay. Did you not see a lot of the series? I can talk about it.
I saw a little bit of the series.
It's funny because we joked about this. Like we joked about this more than the Edmonton series.
Absolutely atrocious.
We thought, wow, Pittsburgh's gonna murder them, because and let's set the stage here. This is no ordinary 12th seed. Nothing's an ordinary 12th seed, but especially this team that beat Pittsburgh. They were 500. Like, flat 500. As many wins as they had losses. As many losses as they had wins. And they beat them in 4. Like, Pittsburgh just looks bad. Like, Pittsburgh looked bad. Like, really bad. They look like the one game they won was fine. They lose the first game in overtime. And then after that, like, even the game they win, they just look out of it the entire series. Like, Montreal is constantly pushing a pace with them, and they're not keeping up.
And that's kind of like the most recent game that I've actually been to live seeing Montreal is I was in Tampa. You weren't there.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, we saw the Tampa versus Montreal. Tampa ended up winning that, but at the start of the game,
this would have been last year. So yeah, of course Tampa won that.
Yeah, but it's no, this is this past season.
Oh, the season we just had. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the season I won the cup. Yeah.
Oh, still.
But at the start of the game, like the thing about that game is that when it came to Montreal, skill eventually caught up with them because they were all speed. Mm-hmm. They were like they had some like they were especially like Montreal is a team that doesn't play a trap.
Let's not talk too much on Montreal.
They don't play something like that. They're aggressive.
We'll get to Montreal.
And when
next round.
I know. But when I saw Pittsburgh playing against that, it kind of looked like they just cowered it down to it.
Oh, actually, here's the one thing I need to say. Pittsburgh's power play is what cost them a lot of this series. There was a moment of the game where they were, I'm not sure if they were down or tied. They had a 5-on-3 and they did nothing with it. And then immediately Montreal scored right after that.
So,
like, it just, the little things. Like, I'm giving them a 2, Carter giving them a 1. Next.
Yep.
The 11th seed New York Rangers losing to the 6th seed Carolina Hurricanes in 3. The only sweep.
10 out of 10, they got Alexi Lafreniere.
Oh, yeah. Fucking funny guy over here.
Why wouldn't they drop it? Nah, but all seriousness, they lost, what? How many?
Swept in 3.
From Carolina? Or
yeah. Like, let me put it this way. Game 1 of Tampa versus Columbus went about just as long as New York Rangers' entire playoff run.
Yeah, and I'll give them a 3.
You give them a 3? It's funny.
It wasn't good, but like you know what I think makes this really bad. They after once they released the idea of like the whole qualifier round, the 2014 playoff. You got to hear about which teams liked it and didn't. Carolina didn't like it. And they said
Carolina played like they didn't like it too.
And they
well, that's yes.
It's one of those things. It's like you lost to a team that doesn't even want to be there. You lost. No.
Yes.
But
I know.
that's true. They lost to a team that didn't want to be there.
So Rangers. This is my spot. I was gonna give the Rangers a 1. I don't think I can though because they were the 11th seed. I'll give them a 2. I'll give them a 1.5. Here's why. New York Rangers, you talked a lot of shit before this series. You were like, look at that season series. We swept them. We beat them. We did so much better. We got Mika Zibanejad. We got Artemi Panarin, Adam Fox, Jacob Trouba, Tony DeAngelo, Chris Kreider, Pavel Buchnevich. We got them all. We got 3 starting goalies. None of them showed up. The goaltending was hung out to dry. They put Lundqvist in because Shesterkin was ill, I think, at first. And, like, you could just tell he was... Artemi Panarin played horrible. Artemi Panarin was a non-factor. Mika Zibanejad was a non-factor. Mark Stahl scored their first freaking goal. Mark Stahl! That's the dead canary right there.
Not exactly in his prime.
No, not exactly in anyone's prime. He's not even in Brendan Leipzig's prime. Like, Jesus.
Oh, you're gonna keep going.
I had to think of a bad player on the fly.
Okay. Well,
I should have picked Cody Ceci. You're right. But no, like, the Rangers look terrible, which is funny because the Rangers have so much talent. I like the Rangers team. That's why in NHL 21, I wanted to be picked first to be on that Rangers team. Because they have so much talent.
And I like the moves that they're making.
I love it, but they played
horrible. Even as a Detroit fan, that trade they made with the Red Wings, as much as I love that on Detroit's part, I also think that's a great move on New York's part. It's an all-around good trade.
Yeah, but like all in all, it's just a lot of missed opportunities. What did you give him again? I give him 1.5 K. Next up,
you're getting into
the 10th seed Florida Panthers loses to the 7th seed New York Islanders in 4.
What do I get? The Florida Panthers?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I didn't watch the series.
Okay, I didn't watch a lot of it, but I'll give you the gist.
Yeah.
Florida didn't improve at all. I'm giving Florida a 2. You feel free to copy me on that. But Florida looks like Florida has problems.
I'll give him a 3. You humbled me about Florida.
Okay, yeah. All right. Here's my problem. Florida has the same problem that Arizona had. The difference is Arizona won their series.
Oh, Arizona has a lot more problems now.
Yes, but without hindsight.
Yeah.
Florida had more.
Yeah.
Florida had a goalie that they paid a lot of money for that didn't perform. Yeah. They have a lot of offensive talent that didn't show up. And they have a solid first pairing defense pair that didn't play well. Like, I look at the Florida Panthers, and it looks like a washed-up version of the New York Rangers. Really. Like, you got guys like Huberdeau and Barkov, and at the time, Hoffman, that are just not... Like, they're doing fine, but there's just not enough to give their team wins. Noel Acciari was a great pickup, though. I love that pickup by the Florida Panthers in the last offseason. He played great. He did really well. But I just didn't see it from them. The whole series, Florida looked like they were just playing catch-up. And you know what? This is bad, especially, too, because this was a chance for Florida to rewrite that narrative on losing to the Islanders back in the John Tavares years.
Oh, yeah.
And let's be honest here. That series, the Florida Panthers got fucking jobbed. Go back and watch Game 6 of the Isles Florida Panthers series. Find whatever clip you can of the empty net. Islanders pull their goalie. I count 2 blatant tripping penalties that goes uncalled by the Islanders before they tie it and then win it in overtime. Like, Florida needed to remember that and come in with a vengeance. A lot like the chip that Carolina had. But it just wasn't there. So I give them a 2 because they just can't find the right way to do it.
Next one, we gotta hurry.
Now this is the one. The 8th seed Toronto Maple Leafs lose in 5 games to the 9th seed Columbus Blue Jackets. What do we give this?
This is not even a first round. This is a 0 round exit.
Yeah.
Not even
what this is patient 0 exit.
What were you saying?
5 games
to
Columbus. So 3-2. It's the only series that went 5.
2.
What, you give him a 2? Yeah,
I'm not going to give decimals because that's cheating.
No, it's not.
You just can't decide. That's your problem.
No, it's just that certain things deserve... I don't like... I wanted to do the letter scale, which gives a lot more. But yeah.
More comfortable.
But no, like, honestly, I would give... What'd you give him, a 2?
2.
2.5. I give him a 2.5.
Optimism.
No, but like...
Oh, no? Okay.
There was... It's funny, because, like, even the games that the Maple Leafs won... Like, the game that... Like, Columbus just worked harder. The Maple Leafs looked flat sometimes, and it just amazes me how you have so much talent. And I'm saying, I feel like I've said this a lot, but god damn it, the Maple Leafs have Matthews, Marner, and Tavares, and they got shut out twice. I think
2 shutouts.
I think they got shut out in Game 1 and
That's
Game 5.
brutal.
I could be wrong.
That's atrocious.
Like, but even the games they win, it's like. The Game 2 they win. They lose Jake Muzzin, who's probably one of their best defensemen. They're their best defensive defenseman, and they lose him to injury.
Mm-hmm.
Frederik Andersen played fine. I don't get why people were riding Andersen. Like, get out of here. The dude had one of the best save percentages for goalies in the playoffs.
That's just because people were rat out the goalie salary.
I will say, though, that Columbus's goalie tandem didn't look good in this series.
Yeah.
They looked good in the next series, but they didn't look good in this series.
Yeah.
And the prime example, just wait, the prime example is, but just let's talk about this for a second here. Game 4 was amazing. I've never seen a comeback like that. 3 goals, net empty, you score all to get back in the game. Amazing. Jason Spezza had a great series, actually. He was a difference maker on the ice. Then you lay the biggest egg in franchise history in Game 5 after that. There's no coming back from that. Like, you better win the cup this year, or you're screwed. Because you've got a lot of checks that you couldn't cash. That's all I'm going to say on that. Do you want to go into the first round?
Do you have time?
Well, I don't know. How long do you want to go?
Well, maybe we should cut it, just because the thing is, if
do you
want
to do round 1 next week?
If you're gonna do the first round, you got to do the whole first round. You can't just
of course. Do you want to do round 1 next week?
Yeah, we'll do round 1 next week.
Round 1 because it only gets shorter as we go.
Yeah, we do have more stuff coming.
Yes, we do.
Recently, we have another. We are starting our franchise reviews.
Yes, we're not gonna do that today. We'll be filming that probably not today. We'll film it like another day. Because I got a little homework to do on that.
Oh yeah.
But we also are happy to announce that we are gonna start doing Mandalorians.
Got to catch up a little bit.
Episode reviews.
Good.
We are starting with season 2 because we're not doing season 1.
We're not
like
going all the way.
it's a year old, and I feel like if anyone's coming over here to ask about it, there's more informed sources on that. Like, we are well aware we are not your first choice, okay? And that's fine. But, like, if you're here, you're probably either enjoying it already, or you just want to know what you're missing. And Season 1's already passed, so we're going to film Season 2, Episode 1, and Season 2, Episode 2 today. And then we're going to space out when we release it, but we want to get them done before Friday, because Friday's when Episode 3 comes out.
So we'll try to...
So, yeah. And we'll probably give, like, a scale on, like, what we thought of the episode, stuff like that. And then we'll just kind of branch off into
We got quite a lot of
theories
opinions on these first 2 episodes.
We like talking about things, the little things, too, which I like.
Well, especially with both the first and second episode.
I like the first... No, I'm not going to spoil it.
Don't get into it.
Okay, so
I have
anyway,
a lot of opinions about both.
That's about as much as we'll say on this. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at Nolan Hockey Podcast.
I don't need to remind you anymore.
Please, I know, right? And please be sure to spread us around and let people know about us. Spread us around, like.
Yeah,
invite
saying spread us around during a pandemic is maybe not the best choice of words.
Okay, yes. But all I'm saying is, so for us, we're hoping we can kind of hit 50 subscribers by the end of the year, which seems like an attainable goal. We're 15 away. But yeah, we'll just take it day by day. Thanks for watching.